wanted to just hop in and say hello and let you guys know that I hope you're having a good day, and I hope this Sunday is going well for you. Sunday's obviously a big day. It's kind of game day for people that love church and stuff like that. I'm not even gonna lie, I'm not a big church goer. If I was to be honest with you, I would have to tell you that I don't go to church. I haven't gone to church in a while. I don't have anything against the church. I actually defend the church a lot. Let me shut this door. This door is open. But anyway, so I haven't gone to church in a while. Not because I don't have respect for the church, but because I kind of believe I should have the right to have my own version of spirituality, my own, belief set, my own belief system. I didn't need anybody to tell me what I should think, about the afterlife and what it means to live a good life and, stuff like that. So I have no shame in that game. There's no embarrassment about not going to church. It's just like voting, when I tell people, hey, I'll vote if I feel inspired to, if I feel like it's the best option for me and my family. But I'm not going to let anybody bully me into doing something that I don't feel comfortable doing. And I know there are some people that hate it, and it's okay. I don't hate you, but I'm not going to let you walk all over me. That ain't happening, partner, ever. Not in a million years. What's going on, Slim Fresh? What's happening? I see David. It looks like David El Grande. Y'all got some funny Twitter names. Let's see. What's that? Irie says, absolutely, I should not always. Somebody says, why do you have to explain or feel that you need to explain that you don't go to church? That's a good question. I guess it's sort of like, I like to share ideas. Sharing ideas means, sort of saying, okay, well, this is my perspective and this is what I think. This is what I think is the right point of view. And I guess I do that because I'm a teacher. I've taught for a long time. I started teaching college students when I was 22 years old in 1993. So as a teacher, you want to share and push knowledge to other people and help them out, help them figure things out. I'm really, really big on critical thinking and the importance of just kind of sitting back in the cut, kind of thinking about things that just thinking about things that you want for your own life, because I think that for Black people, you can't lean on institutions to tell you what to think, because those institutions will lead you astray. That's why you get stuck. That's why you can't get out of your situation sometimes. You can't lean on the school system. These school systems will jack your brain up. These public schools are terrible. And these universities, they're nothing more than brainwashing factories half the damn time. It doesn't mean that they're all bad, but it just means, like, think about this, like you got universities that will convince you to go $80,000 in debt to get a $40,000 a year job. How does that make sense? Literally, I mean, did you get up one day and say, I think I want to go $80,000 in debt so that I can go work at Payless Shoe Store, or so I can go get a job, where I could barely pay my rent? Like, I mean, did you decide that, or did somebody tell you that's what you're supposed to do? See, because basically the world's got sheep, and then you've got people that lead, and I never want to be a sheep. I never want to be a sheeple. So if you tell me to do something, I'm gonna hear you out. I'm gonna think about it, but I have to come to my own conclusion that it's the right thing to do. But once I come to my own conclusion, I'll be like, okay, that's a good idea. I'm gonna do that. But if it's bullshit, I'm gonna be like, no, man, why would I do that? That doesn't make any sense to me. So I encourage Black people. Black people must think for themselves. Black people who can't think for themselves perish. Black people who cannot think for themselves, they perish, because everything that's fed to you is complete poison. It's like food. They studies show that they market the most unhealthy food to poor people and Black people. That's where they market the most. They also will market cigarettes and all that stuff, and liquor and all of that. So if you're a person that doesn't think for yourself and you just follow along with whatever is being presented to you, then you're going to end up as an alcoholic. Maybe you're going to end up with cancer from smoking cigarettes. You're going to end up with diabetes or heart disease or strokes from eating all kinds of crazy fast food. You're going to end up broke from giving all your money away to fast food. Did you know that pay attention, listen to this. This is real crazy. You won't believe it, but it's true. Did you know that if every Black person in America simply took the money that we spend on fast food and put that money in the stock market, that 80 or 90% of Black families will be millionaires within one generation? Did you know that? That literally, if every family, it ain't gonna happen. It's all theory at this point. You could do it on your own in your family, but it ain't gonna happen across the whole community. I can't control the whole Black community. White people can, but I can't, right? White people can control the whole black community. For example, Disney can raise $1 billion from black people for a movie, but if I come out and say, give me, let's pull together $1 billion and go build some schools, that ain't gonna work, right? But anyway, but literally, I mean, just think about this. I want you to think about what I just said. Did you know that if every black family took the money that they spend on fast food alone and put that money in the stock market instead, 80 or 90% of those families will be millionaire families within one generation. And all of them will be in a financial position that is superior to white people. It might sound crazy. You might think, oh, this guy's full of it. Because, when you're out here in this space like this, you just run into so many people that I call them the Negro naysayers, who just kind of believe black people can't do nothing on their own, that we just ignorant, that we are destined to be behind, we're destined to fail. But the reason I don't have a problem with that is because I understand. I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't have believed that shit either. I wouldn't have believed it myself. But I'm a mathematician. My master's degree is in mathematics. I taught mathematics at the University of Kentucky. So I know how to sit down with a piece of paper or a calculator and do calculations, right? I could show you right now, as I do with my students, I could show you right now why that's true. If you take, I think the average American family spends, I think, was it $3,000 a year on fast food? So if you were to basically do what they call the future value and annuity equation, which is something that we do in the Black Stock Market program, and literally calculate how much money you'd have if you put $3,000 a year into a diversified portfolio that follow that simply track the S&P 500. You don't even have to pick any stocks. You literally could just put it in a mutual fund that tracks the S&P, which does all the work for you. That literally, if you did that, if you had the discipline to do that for one generation, your family would probably be at millionaire status, or at the very least, very, very close. I'm talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars liquid, right? And think about this. That's what's so fascinating, is that most people can't even come up with $3,000 like for an emergency. Most Americans can't even save up that much money. So you're not even talking about, equality at this point. I don't care about equality. I'm not a civil rights Negro. I'm not into like, let's all go sit at the same lunch counter, sing kumbaya, so I can have the right to give a white man my money. I know, if you ain't respecting me, I ain't giving you shit. I ain't giving you nothing. You ain't getting Nathan from me. I'm not into that. I'm not a civil rights Negro. I'm not a we shall overcome. I'm not a kumbaya, let's hold hands. I'm not one of those like, let's go vote for the right white man who's going to give us all this so-called alleged power. I'm just not that guy. I'm a guy who likes to win. Y'all don't understand. Like, really, I am a competitor. I played sports when I was a kid. I played football. I played basketball. I ran track. I was captain of my track team. I wanted to win so bad in high school that I didn't just go to track practice. Check it out. I kid you not. This is a true story. I used to get up in the morning and run at 5 a.m. 15, 16 years old. I didn't even know it was a big deal for a 16-year-old to get up and run at 5 a.m. I would get up on my own and go running at 5 a.m. And then after school, I would go to track practice. And then after track practice, I would go home and run again. That was how bad I wanted to be the best. That was how bad I wanted to win. I love winning. So when I'm talking to Black people, I'm not talking to you about strategies that are going to help you achieve equality. No, I'm an enemy. I should be an enemy of white supremacists, because I'm not trying to be equal with your ass. I'm trying to take all of your shit. I'm trying to defeat you. I'm trying to blow you away in such a way that you only know what the hell happened to you. I want to kick you in your ass. Not in a violent way. I'm not going to show up and hurt nobody. I'm not into that stuff. But I want to dominate you. I need you. I don't want you to give me a job working for you. I want you asking me for a job so you can come work for me. And so when I formulate my ideas, when I formulate the mathematics behind the ideas, when I lay out plans, action plans, I'm talking about individualized, family-specific action plans that you can pursue to achieve your goal. These are things that I've done, that I've come up with through detailed analysis. This is not you know, like, okay, let's all, all donate to the same fund and build a big whatever it is. Like it's nothing like that. I mean, those things are fine, but it's not sort of like these BS plans that you hear. They're not even plans. Like most of the time, if you really pay close attention, you listen to what we talk about. Usually, like pay attention now. Right now is an interesting time because right now the elections are coming, so they're trying to get everybody to vote. Most of the time, when you see any major corporation, any major institution gathering a bunch of prominent Black people, right now it's going to be all about voting. That's all that they're pretty much going to say. This is why it's important for us to get together and all go out and vote, because Donald Trump is a terrible person. Like, pay attention, listen carefully to the words that come out of their mouth. It's going to be like, yeah, and with Donald Trump in office, this is what's blah 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 blah, and that's why it's important for us to show up and vote, because blah 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 blah. And then go deeper, and I want you to really listen to see if there's anything else that they provide for you. Like if they say anything deeper, like, well, okay, now let's all go make investments so that we can actually control our communities and actually own, instead of having other people own hair and nail salons in our community, let's all go build these hair and nail salons. Instead of educating our children through the public school system, let's go support some of the excellent Black schools that are out here. Instead of us going out looking for people to give us jobs, let's go and demand some support so that we can actually get investment funds for these jobs. Let's tell these banks that where we're depositing our money to make loans to Black businesses. Let's tell the Small Business Administration that they should make some of their resources available for Black businesses. Let's buy Black. Let's support Black businesses. Let's make sure our children know how to start businesses so they don't have to beg for jobs. Those are the kinds of plans that I believe will be the solution for some families. I think that what is sometimes misinterpreted and confused by people is they think that I'm here, to kind of convince everybody to get on board with a specific agenda. Like they really think I'm sort of here for everybody, and I'm not. I'm just not that guy. I don't have the patience for it. I'm not built to be I'm not really built to be a traditional leader in any way. Like I don't have I don't have the patience. I don't have the patience to sit here and, like work through like a mumble rap mentality, as somebody is fighting with me and telling me all day why they know some shit that they don't even know. Like if you, don't get me wrong, if you don't understand something and you say, okay, well, help me understand, Doc, let me share your ideas with me. Let me, hear what you got to say. Then I'll talk to you all day. I'll help you as much as I can. But if you are resisting, if you're just like, I want to go listen to the rapper Future all day, smoke weed, drink purple, and beg white people for jobs and never learn how to read, I'm gonna say, okay, well, good luck with that. I hope it works out for you. I'm not gonna be like, no, come back, please. You gotta change. If you don't change, how are we gonna get those brothers and sisters that don't want to listen? Well, if they don't want to listen, then it's a free damn country. It's a free country. You ain't got to listen. You ain't got to be here. You're here because you want something different and you're tired of the bullshit. You're tired of getting the same nonsense. I would go to things like the Congressional Black Caucus events and I would just be like, this is really fancy. Like, this is really fancy stuff. Hey, is it almost time to go?
No, it's not time to go. Are you online?
Yes.
I'm going to send you something.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Okay.
All right. That is a beautiful Black woman right there. That is, if you ain't got you a hot, wonderful, and brilliant Black woman by your side, you gotta get one of those. You gotta get one of those. It's better than Alexis. Anyway, she's awesome though. She's the reason that I lost all that weight. A good woman can elevate you to do things that you might not have done before. That's in fact, the greatest beauty of a woman is exhibited when she is in her natural state as a giver of life. That's where nurturing comes from. That's where, like a woman, like if you notice, like a strong woman might do something like if she sees your tie's crooked, she'll straighten your tie. I read about this in biology books. I know somebody said you turned into a puppy. I do. I've known this woman for 25 years, and I tell you, she's a real special person. like, but a real woman, like, will see your tie crooked and she'll fix your tie, or she'll see that your office is all messy and she'll straighten it up, or she'll move some, she'll say, well, the painting will look better over here. And I read about that in a book. And one of the things that they said was that, that in a woman's nature, they're naturally givers of life, that they give birth to children and things like that. And as a giver of life, that's what drives them to want to nurture, to make things better, to improve people, things like that. Like, it's all about giving life, a life-giving force. So anyway, that's just the theory. So she does that. She embodies that. And that's why I respect her. Now somebody says I'm off topic again. Yeah, I'm off topic, but I'm really on topic, because you can't talk about the success of the Black community without talking about Black love and the importance of Black women and the important role that they play in our community. I think that one of the other shortcomings of Black leadership is that we do not have enough women that are elevated to the position of leadership. And I think that we lose because of that. I think that as Black people, we do not, think about this. If you look at Aretha's funeral, you saw, all these Black leaders on the stage, and they were all men. It was Farrakhan, Al Sharpton, Michael Eric Dyson, Jesse Jackson, etc. And I don't think that's appropriate. I think that we have to sort of give women the opportunity to do what they want to do. Let's see. JD says Black people need hope. Yeah, I think hope is not a bad thing. Hope is, I live off of hope. If I had no hope, I wouldn't be getting up doing this stuff. My God, I mean, sometimes it gets so difficult at times, and you want to give up hope, but hope is what keeps me going. If you don't have hope, then you're not going to feel inspired to get up and even try, right? So you have to have your hope, but then you also have to have a plan. And I think that that's one of the things that we can work on as people is, what are specific action plans that people can follow besides voting? Like, I guarantee you, if you went to these places and told the Black people that they gather for these events and said, we want you to give a plan that doesn't involve voting. Like, that we talk about voting later, but tell us a plan that we can implement in our households right now that goes beyond voting. A lot of people can't do that. They're not, because we're not trained to think outside of that box. We're institutionalized. We're like a domesticated house cats. If you look at a domesticated house cat or domesticated puppy, if you say to him, okay, how do you go get some food? All that puppy knows how to do is operate inside that house. All that puppy knows how to do is go to the master and scratch his leg and beg him for some food. All he knows how to do is sit by the bowl and wait for the master to pour some puppy chow in the bowl. He doesn't know anything about how to eat outside of having the master pour him puppy chow, right? Whereas an animal that's in the wild that maybe got kicked out of the house, maybe he's a little bit disappointed because he doesn't have a warm bed to sleep in or somebody to feed him every day, but he eventually learns how to survive. So when the question comes for that dog who isn't domesticated, who's out in the wild, and you say, how do you get some food? He's going to say, well, I know how to go hunt. I go hunt a rabbit, or I can chase him down, or I can go dig in the trash can maybe, or go and sneak in a neighbor's backyard and get some of their food that they have. So it's a tougher life. It's a tougher life for sure, but you become a tougher person when you have a tougher life. Like, I guarantee you, if you put a domesticated puppy in a fight against another puppy that has been living in the wild, who the hell you think gonna win that fight? Who do you think is gonna survive? Right? So, when I look at Black people who are institutionalized, who can't think outside of institutions, you say, well, what's your solution to the problems in the Black community? We need more jobs. We need white people to give us more jobs. Or what's your solution for the Black community? Oh, we need to go vote. Everybody needs to go rock the vote. When I look at people like that, unfortunately, I see a domesticated house cat. I see an institutionalized Negro who doesn't know how to survive outside of the support of white supremacist institutions. So to some extent, while they might complain about white supremacy, they are actually quite supportive of it and incredibly dependent upon it. If you took away that institution, they wouldn't know what to do. It would be like a lot of us, if they took away the electrical grid and got rid of the jobs and there was a nuclear explosion and where you had to carry a gun and hunt for food and kill people, most people couldn't survive in that situation. Most people wouldn't know how to grow food or hunt for food or survive or anything like that. So basically, the best thing that ever happened to me was when white people rejected me, because I too was domesticated. I too thought that the best way to get ahead was to get a really good job and make a lot of money on that job. I made a lot of money. I made over $100,000 a year when I was teaching at Syracuse, and my skill set for survival, my ideas, the scope of my ideas was very different then than it is now, because now I've been out in the wild. I've learned how to survive without getting a paycheck. I've learned how to figure things out. I've learned how to develop institutions when there are none. And what it does is it opens up the whole game for you in terms of all the things you can do. So now when I think about having a great school for Black people, I don't say, well, what's the best school white people own that Black people can attend that will give us the best education? I don't think that way. I think, well, what's the best school that Black people can build to educate Black children in a way that's specific to what Black children need to hear, right? That's a whole different mindset. Or when you talk about, well, what's the key to Black power? I don't even think about voting, honestly, because there's no evidence to show me that it works. I haven't seen any evidence. I'm not saying that, that I hate you if you vote or that I think you're dumb. I'm just saying, when I ask them and I say, well, show me, like prove to me, give me something that excites me about benefits Black people have seen by keeping the Democrats in office. And they really have a really hard time coming up with anything. Like they'll come up with something like, well, Obama created my brother's keeper. And I was like, that's what we got for 8 years? Like 8 years in office, that's the best you can come up with is my brother's keeper? Like, is that changing Black families all throughout the world? Like, how many millions of Black families have been impacted by my brother's? I haven't seen anything. They ain't sent a check to nobody I know. I haven't seen, I mean, seriously. Now, I mean, if my brother's keeper was like a $20 billion initiative, where they were helping like every child that you saw on every corner, then I could understand that. I could get excited about that. But to me, I was like, that seemed kind of symbolic. It doesn't seem like it actually accomplished anything, or another thing they'll say, well, the Obama presidency established lots of rights for the LGBT community, and there are gay Black people too. And what that is that is what you would call almost like circumstantial benefits, or coincidental benefits, right? Or correlational benefits, where because we happen to be in the group that white people wanted to help anyway, a few of us got some benefits out of that. But most Black people I know are not sitting around saying, that, okay, if you elevate the LGBT community, then that's the same as elevating Black people. I don't hear Black people say that. I don't see I don't see many Black people who think that way. So what I think is that the reason that they have a hard time saying anything other than the basic stuff that you've heard a million times over is because they too are confused. They too feel powerless. They too are afraid. They too feel like this is the best option that we have. They too also don't believe in the power of Black people to do things on our own. And so I think it's important for us to really reestablish our thinking in terms of saying, look, if you really can show us where the benefits are, then we'll get behind you 100%. But if we have a hard time seeing the benefits, then we're not going to participate in that. That's it. That's it. I have another example I was thinking about, but I'm not going to bore you with that. By the way, if you're going to the All Black National Convention, first of all, if you want to go get tickets to the All Black National Convention, you can get your passes. It's in Philadelphia the weekend of September 27th. You can go to allblacknationalconvention.com. That's allblacknationalconvention.com. If you want to watch it via live stream, you can check out the live stream by joining abncdigital.com. abncdigital.com. Somebody please type that in. abncdigital.com. At abncdigital.com, the first month is totally free. And you can also get access to a lot of other good stuff. We've got trainings in there. The thing that I did with Louis Farrakhan on wealth, education, family, and community, establishing new paradigms of thought for Black families. That is also included, as well as all the footage from all the previous conventions. So that's exciting too, because the other conventions were just as insanely amazing as this convention is going to be. The theme of this convention is building our own, But truth be told, that should really be the theme of every convention. That should be the theme of, I mean, it's not, it's a marathon. This is a marathon. This is not a sprint. So, the idea that we're going to, that we would focus on building our own for 1 year only, it wouldn't make any sense. This is a lifelong journey. This is a lifelong mission. So at this convention, the whole conversation will be centered around, okay, how do we have our own schools? How do we go and buy, property, buy blocks, and engage in Black gentrification? The Black Gentrification Project, and we're going to launch that soon. Working with Dr. Benicia Dutra, who has a PhD in finance, and we're working with lawyers right now to get the necessary approvals to do a debt offering to raise $1 million to go buy a couple of buildings. And then we want to flip that and go into higher levels of real estate investment. What else? What other questions need to be asked? Families, how do we deal with relationships and build strong relationships and rethink our families as empires? I really practice internalizing the idea that your family is one of the most important institutions that you'll ever be a part of. And your family is as much of an empire as you decide for it to be. If you decide that your family is just going to be a bunch of random people who are all going to work for white folks, then I guess that's okay. But I think that there's more for your family. I think there's more for you. Even if you don't have a lot of money, seriously, like if you think about your family as an empire, then that's what it becomes. It just may be an empire that doesn't have a lot of money in the beginning, but if you do long-term investment plans, then in one generation, your family could be worth over $1 million. So suddenly you are a millionaire family, and also becoming a millionaire doesn't just start with how much money you have. It starts up here. It starts with your mindset. Really, there is such a thing as a millionaire mindset. A millionaire mindset is a person who thinks more about investing than they think about spending. They think about growing capital more than they think about kind of borrowing and letting go of capital. They think about ownership more than they think about, borrowing or receiving charity or support from other people. There's like a way you think when you have a millionaire mindset. And most people I know who become millionaires establish the millionaire mindset even when they don't have a lot of money. Now, somebody says, how do I get Black enough gear? We do have a store if you want to go check it out. I think the Black enough shirts are in the store. Go to drboycebooks.com. That's drboycebooks.com. There's all kinds of stuff for your family. Like literally you can educate your whole family off of this stuff. From an economic standpoint, we've got apparel, we've got books, we've got digital lectures that will change your life. We're talking about things like how to build your own family bank. They don't teach that stuff in college. This is stuff I figured out and put together after I stopped teaching at Syracuse University, right? This was, the beauty of having a PhD in finance. What the PhD gave me, which I wouldn't have had if I was like, a guy who like worked at a bank or took a few classes. What the PhD gives you is it gives you the ability to say, okay, there's nothing what I need is not in anybody's book. There is no book ever written in all of history that gives me what I need to create a model that achieves a specific goal. So like an engineer who wants to build a special kind of car, they can achieve a certain goal, drive over a certain terrain or go at a certain speed. It's the same way. I said, most of what I need to really help the Black community is not in a book. Nobody writes books like that. So I said, well, let me create models and use theories that I picked up along the way to develop specific models that will work specifically for solving the specific problems of the Black community, right? So that's where the lecture on how to build your own family bank came from. It came from the fact that Black people don't have access to traditional white people capital. White folks don't loan money to Black people like they should. Banks don't loan money to Black people like they should. But if you look at the core of like, what is a bank? What does it mean to have a bank? What does it mean to have an endowment? What does that mean? What is the power of that capital? And how can you develop that on your own? It becomes no different from saying, well, since nobody will give me food, I'm going to grow my own garden in the back and I can get food from my own garden. That's all it really is. So another thing, the KID model, KID, knowledge, investment, discipline. The KID model is designed to help us win in the next generation. As I've told you, it's very difficult. It would be almost impossible for me to tell you how Black people can take the lead tomorrow. That's really hard to do. But it's very easy for me to tell you how Black people can take the lead in a generation, 30 years from now. In The Art of War, Sun Tzu says that battles are won before they begin. That before the battle begins, that's when you actually win the battle. You win the battle with preparation. Success loves preparation. Success and preparation are siblings. When you deliver one, you usually get the other. So what I have said is, okay, we can't get our enemies now. We can't sort of win the battle or the competition right now. It's kind of hard to do in certain ways, but we can dominate the competition 30 years from now. And so the KID model says, and this is what I'm applying to my newborn niece, who was just born down in Colombia. She's going to have plenty of knowledge on investing. She's going to know how to start a business before the age of 10. She's going to know how to invest. She's going to know how to buy real estate, all these things. She's going to learn this before she learns anything that would ever be taught to her in a public school. Because this is more important. Having enough money is going to be probably the most important thing in her life. And then she can go and do other things, right? So we're going to make sure she's good in that. Investment means that I've established a trust for her, and I'm putting lots of money in the trust to get it started, and then I'm going to make regular contributions to the trust on autopilot based on the models of how money grows. What's going to happen is I'm going to probably end up putting, I don't know, let's say I end up putting over 30 years, $100,000 in her trust. Well, that $100,000, if you invest it on a consistent basis, is going to grow to over $1 million, right? So she'll be a millionaire. And then discipline means that you have to raise your child in a way where they're ready to fight, where they're tough, where they're ready to make sacrifices, they're ready to stand up against adversaries, they're ready to go out and fight for resources, because Black people lose their discipline because it's taken away from you. It's been taken away from you since slavery. They didn't want disciplined, strong slaves who were going to stand up against oppression. They wanted weak, docile slaves who would lose focus the minute things got hard. So what unfortunately has occurred is that you have a lot of Black people who really break down very quickly. All white people have to do is sneeze at them, and we start crying and whining and begging and praying to Jesus that they'll stop doing this to us. And I'll talk about building a Black Wall Street, and people will say, well, Doc, why should we build a Black Wall Street? Because if we build it, all they're going to do is tear it down. Well, that speaks to a lack of moral fiber in you. That speaks to a lack of backbone in you. Because do you know that check this out, in the Vietnam War, the United States government could not understand why the Viet Cong were able to keep bouncing back and fighting them, because they literally dropped more bombs on North Vietnam than all the bombs dropped by all countries combined during World War II. They literally were like, we're going to carpet bomb these sons of bitches. We're going to blow these motherfuckers up to the point where they're going to be so demoralized, so broken, that they're going to want to surrender. They're going to definitely come to the negotiating table. So they spend billions of dollars dropping thousands of bombs on all kinds of people, innocent people too, blowing up bridges, anything they build, they blew it up, whatever. And check this out. They could not understand how in the hell these people still kept coming back. Every time they blew up the Ho Chi Minh Trail, which is what they used to bring their supplies down south, the trail would just be rebuilt the next day. Every time they blew up a bridge, the bridge would be rebuilt the next day. And they were like, this is insane. They had never seen anything like this. And when 20 years later, when they did documentaries about it, and they went and talked to North Vietnamese people and said, how did you do that? How did you stand up and keep on going despite all this insane amounts of bombing? And they said, we just had a saying that we repeated to ourselves. It was, if they blow it up, we will rebuild. If they blow it up again, we will rebuild again. And I said, I'll be damned. If I can get Black people to have that kind of mindset, shit, ain't nothing they can do to stop us. Imagine if 100% of all Black people had that kind of determination when it came to building Black Wall Street. Imagine if we had that kind of determination when it came to educating our own children. Imagine if we had that kind of determination when it came to building wealth in our communities. Imagine, nobody could stop us. Nobody could stop us. But now, unfortunately, if somebody calls you the N-word, your feelings get hurt, you get depressed, so you go home and sit in a liquor bottle for 6 months and, whatever. I'm not saying this is true for everybody, but we all know people who unfortunately are so broken that's what they do. A lot of Black men are broken. A lot of Black men are depressed. So they're committing suicide slowly through drugs and alcohol or whatever. Your testosterone has been taken from you. Your manhood has been stolen from you. A lot of Black women are depressed. just, where things get hard, they just say, I don't want to fight. I just want to, get along to get along. I'll just be the help, and that comes from the fact that you're former slaves. It comes from the fact that most of the media you consume is designed to keep you docile. That's why movies like The Butler do really well in the Black community. That's why movies like The Help do extremely well in the Black community. That's why movies like Driving Miss Daisy get made on a regular basis. They love to make movies and educate you in a way that says, look, don't fight. Don't fight. If you fight, it's only going to be hard for you. You're not going to win. You're not going to win. Yeah, that Boyce Watkins guy, all he's going to do is get you in trouble and fill your head up with a bunch of ideas that are going to make your life harder. So just give up. Just don't even try. Here, come to the Beyonce concert. Come to you got an extra $100. Don't invest that money. Go buy you some Popeye's chicken. That'll make you feel better. That's kind of what happens to you. That's how you get lulled to sleep. So to me, wokeness is deeper than just being woke enough to complain about your problems. Wokeness is being woke enough where you say, no, I'm going to keep fighting, even if I think I might not win, even if I think I probably won't win. I'm going to fight just to make a point, just to let you know that I'm a fighter, just to set the tone for my children, because I might lose the battle, but they're going to watch me going down on the battlefield bloody and burning. And that's going to inspire them to come at you with a whole different strategy that I never thought of. But that's going to prepare them for battle so that the minute the opportunity opens up for them to get ahead on your ass, they're going to come get you. They're going to come get you. They saw mama washing dishes for Miss Sally for 25 years. And it was hard for me to get ahead, but I still taught my children how to invest. I still taught them how to start a business. And now look at this. My son is worth $20 million, and he's got more power than you'll ever have. Right? It's always that person who's willing to make the sacrifice that opens the door for the people that are able to get the benefits. Just like football, it's the linemen who, with their faces in the mud and the dirt, with blood on their jaw, who clear the pathway for the running backs to get into the end zone. So some of us get to be the running backs. Some of us have to be the linemen. Some of us have to bust the hole open so somebody else can get through to the end zone. So what you have to do right now is you got to really practice. And this is kind of, when you come to the All Black National Convention, this is kind of the way we think. This is people who think this way, this is what this is for. It's for people like you. I need you to really get over yourself and stop thinking about right now. Stop thinking about Colin Kaepernick. I don't give a fuck about that beyond the fact that I'm happy for this man. I'm glad that he got the deal with Nike. I'm glad he took a knee. I think Colin Kaepernick has done a wonderful job of doing his role. But I'm not really thinking about 2018. I'm really thinking about 2058. I'm thinking about 2068. I'm thinking about, 80 years from now. And what I really want you to try to do is to think about your own family. Don't think about all these people on TV. Most of these people on TV don't care nothing about you. Colin Kaepernick, for example, he took his knee. Colin, if you pay attention, watch Colin's Twitter. Watch his Twitter account. Most of what you see on Colin Kaepernick's Twitter is, it seems it's the stuff that you see with a celebrity who's trying to protect his money. It doesn't mean Cap is a bad person though. It just means I'm like, okay, he's protecting millions of dollars because he ain't trying to say nothing that's gonna really rock the boat. He ain't really trying to get up for real in the middle of the battle like the rest of y'all. He ain't really trying to be in the struggle like that right now. He's paid his dues. He's kind of conducting himself in a way that an elder conducts themselves when they already went out to battle. They already made a sacrifice, right? So I want you, let me share the screen of his Twitter. I'm not even looking at it. Okay, so here's a retweet he shares about some soccer players kneeling. Here's a Nike ad. See, so now he's unfortunately he's kind of corporate, right? Most of his posts are Nike posts. Most of them are Nike ads, and I'm sure Nike paid him millions of dollars to sell products, right? Here's another post from his lawyer, Mark Garagos, about NFL owners. So again, this is his multi-million-dollar lawsuit that I hope he wins, and that's him sort of taking care of his pockets. Here's another shared post. Let me see. Over 500 prisoners died in Hurricane Katrina because they were locked in their cells. I'm at a loss why someone would decide these prisoners in the flood zone for Hurricane Florence are not being evacuated. Okay, so he cares. It's not to say he doesn't care. It's to say that he's being extremely careful. Here's another one. He's got his Kaepernick jersey that he's selling. He says it's out of stock, but he says all of the profits go to the Know Your Rights camp. Okay, so I don't see this as a greedy money grab, but he's selling. He's doing a lot of selling, which is okay. Selling is fine, but you don't really see him sort of jumping into the fire like that, right? You don't really see him sort of jumping in like something like the biggest thing in the world can happen tomorrow, and he probably won't have much to say about it himself. It's not probably, I bet it's not because he doesn't want to say anything. I think it's because he can't. His lawyers are telling him, don't talk too much, don't get in the middle of too many things. It's going to mess up your lawsuit. It'll mess up your Nike deal. Like here's another one. Let me see a picture of a lady wearing his Kaepernick jersey. Here's another one, his Kaepernick jersey. Another one, his Kaepernick jersey. Another one, look, just pay attention. Look at this. Here's a mural of Kaepernick. Here's two guys kneeling that he's supporting, which is good. Everything kind of centers around continuing the movement that he started. Talking about, now here's something about Serena. 2 queens that stepped in the court today, 2 queens stepped off the court. Majesty from beginning to end. So again, not a controversial statement, a retweet from somebody else. The statement's not one that says, okay, it was racism, not sexism that led to Serena Williams being treated the way she was on the court. It's more like, everybody's a queen, everybody's happy. We're proud of both of them. It's kind of like that kind of very diplomatic sort of statement, right? It's only stupid people like me who really get out there and say things that'll piss people off. But here's another. This is a Nike ad. This is a Nike ad. A Nike ad. Nike ad. Nike ad. Nike. What is this? Kaepernick's not going away. A news article about Kaepernick. So I think that what is interesting, about it is that it's kind of like, I think the question you have to ask yourself is, at what point, do you as a Black community elevate your condition and your position because of the things that any celebrity is doing right now? I'm not saying that Kaepernick's not a good dude though. Don't interpret this as me thinking like, oh, I want to throw rocks at this guy. It's more like saying, that Kaepernick, I believe, should get a certain amount of your mental space. There should be a certain percentage of your brain that goes to saying, great job, very proud of you. We're glad things worked out for you. But then there's that other part of you that has to say, okay, now I got to go take care of me and mine. Now I need to figure out how to get my children ahead. My children are not going to get ahead by me spending all my money on Nikes. Like, that's just not going to happen. But I can, but Nikes are nice. Like it's okay to buy a pair if you want to. Check it out. Look at these Jordans I got. Now tell me these are not like the coolest Jordans you've ever seen. And look at this. Watch this. Watch this. Let me just really wow you. Look. That's a second pair of Jordans. Look. Now tell me that y'all think I'm a nerd, right? But I got style. I believe I got style when it comes to my sneaker game. My sneaker game is nice. So I'm not one to tell you not to buy Jordans. In fact, look. Let me just bam, look at that. Almost like the alligator belt. Remember the man was on the alligator belt with the alligator shirt with the alligator shoes? Like seriously, so I'm a fan of Nike. I love Nike. I was invited by the guys that run the Air Jordan brand. I was invited to do a tour of their campus. And I was so impressed. It was so beautiful. And when I was there, I remember walking around this campus, and I saw all these big buildings, and every building was named after some famous athlete. Like they had the Tiger Woods Conference Center, the John McEnroe building, the Michael Jordan building, the big building in the back. I said, what is that giant building back there? They said, oh, that's going to be the Serena Williams building. And it was bigger than all the other buildings. And I said, she deserves that, because I think she can make a case for being the greatest athlete of all time, certainly the greatest tennis player, certainly the greatest female athlete. And I believe she might actually make a case to be the greatest athlete, period. But that's up for people to debate. But here's the thing. Here's where my mind was, right, when I was there. I didn't know Nike was going to partner with Kaepernick at that point. So I didn't really think much about Cap that day. But what I was doing was I was studying the game. I was like, this is amazing. Where did this come from? How was this built? Because I'm sitting there thinking about Black people. Like, how do we have something this amazing, 50 years from now, right? So then I was most intrigued by learning the story of Phil Knight, and how Phil Knight, I saw they had a like almost like a museum where they had, they were like, this is the first van that Phil Knight used to sell raggedy shoes out of in the back. He showed shoes out of the back of his van in 1974. This is how they came up with the idea for the Nike swoosh. Nike is the goddess of something. I forgot what Nike was. It's some sort of goddess. And I'm like, man, this is so crazy. I wonder if, when they were sitting there making raggedy ass shoes, they made the first pair of Nike track shoes on a waffle iron. They literally did a waffle iron and made the sole of the shoes. And I was thinking, I wonder in 1976 if they thought that they would have this billion-dollar campus, that looks so beautiful and be selling like billions of dollars worth of shoes all around the globe every year. I wonder if they saw that vision, right? I wonder how wild they would be if you went back 50 years and said, this is what's going to be in existence if you just stick with it. Don't give up, man. Don't give up. I know ain't nobody buying your shoes like you want now. I know it looks raggedy. It looks like it ain't much. You're just some random dude selling shoes out the back of his van. But this is what your family will have in 50 years. And I think it will probably blow their mind. So then I start thinking about 2018. And then I'm thinking 50 years ahead. How many of you right now have some raggedy ass shit that you're doing right now, some little tiny ass business that you don't think means nothing to nobody? Ain't making an impact, ain't even making no money yet. You selling something out the back of your trunk. That how many of you right now have some business right now that ain't much of nothing, that in 50 years is gonna be a multi-billion-dollar company that's selling products all around the world? How many of you have that right now? And how many of you right now who have something that's going to grow into something that massive are thinking, well, I ain't got nothing. This ain't shit. I didn't make nothing but $5,000 last year. I'm gonna just drop the business. I'm gonna go back and get a job. How many great multi-billion-dollar empires in the Black community have died due to a lack of hope and belief in yourself that you can do the same thing that the white man has done 10,000 times over? How many times have we killed and murdered a multi-billion-dollar destiny? I'm gonna tell you what. The abortion of great Black dreams happens every single day. Just the same way they put all the abortion clinics in Black neighborhoods and they kill all these babies that could have gone on to be, the next Malcolm X and the next whatever, right? But they tell you because their mom was poor that the baby should never be born and that it's better off just to kill the baby. And this ain't an abortion statement. I'm pro-choice. People can choose, but I'm not pro stupid choice. I think, giving that chance to live, giving that child a chance to live is beneficial. My mama was a 17-year-old single mother. She was 16 when she got pregnant. My father was 15. They would have easily told her, like, oh, well, just kill the baby. Just kill the little Negro. He'll be better off dead. And I'm like, well, shit, did nobody ask me? Did nobody ask me if I'd rather be dead than poor? We were poor. I was born in the projects. We didn't have no money. I know what it's like to get your car repossessed. I know what it's like to get the lights cut out. I know what it's like to damn near get evicted because you can't pay the rent and hide from the landlord. I've seen all that. I know what it's like to not have no food in the refrigerator and suddenly have food because mama just got her paycheck today. I know that feeling, and there's no way on earth I would trade my experience in poverty with death. There's no way I would be like, oh, well, it was so hard. I would have been better off just dead. No. My mama gave me a chance to live because the conditions that we were in were temporary. The long-term permanent effects were at a point and at a level that she could not comprehend as a young 17-year-old girl. My mother, as a 17-year-old single parent, probably couldn't have comprehended that her son would go on and become a PhD who's known throughout the world, who's educating 1 million Black people a week. My mother never could have visualized that at the age of 17. So what kept her going was she just said, well, my baby's a gift from God and I want my baby to live, and we're just gonna see how this thing works out. I'm not gonna give up on him. I think he could be something special if I continue to be consistent. So I think the same thing is true with business, with your family empire. There's no reason for you to believe that your grandchildren will be worth $1 billion one day. There's no reason for you to believe that your little tiny ass, raggedy ass piece of shit company that ain't making nothing but $10 a month is going to grow into some multi-billion-dollar empire. But here's what I'm here to tell you right now, and this is the fact, and I need you to really walk away and internalize this. You don't know shit about the future. You don't know anything about what you're capable of. You don't know nothing about what plan God has in store for you 40, 50 years from now. You have no idea what your grandchildren and great grandchildren are going to be doing because of what you're doing today. The things that I'm saying right now that are coming out of my mouth, I have no idea how many young people I'll inspire 80 years from today after I'm dead who are watching this video right now in the year 2098 because it's helping them get through the situations that they're facing then. You have no idea. You have no idea how great that seed is going to grow, what kind of sycamore tree, what kind of California redwood is going to grow from the tiny seed that you plant today, because all you can see is a damn seed. So all you need to do is shut the fuck up, stop thinking you know everything, stop believing that you know what your limitations are, and just plant the damn seed. And plant another one and plant those seeds consistently and say the universe will then decide how great these seeds are going to become. That is your only job. Do your job. Do not neglect that seed having a chance to grow because you have been so limited by white supremacy that you can't even possibly visualize the magnitude of the power that God has in store for your family because of the things that you do today. Stop it. Just stop it. Stop killing billion-dollar dreams because you got a $10 mentality. Stop it. Just plant the seed and go on about your business. Just teach your children the basics of what they need to know. Teach your children how to start a business, how to invest, how to do things like that. Tell your children the things they're going to need to be successful. And then that's your job. That's your only job at that point. And then watch what they do that you can never possibly even imagine. They're going to take the little morsels that you give them and they're going to turn that into something that you can't comprehend because you are too afflicted with the slave mentality. You, like me, are constrained by the limitations of the white supremacist mindset. You ain't nothing but a slave half the damn time. Most of us are. And I'm throwing myself in that category too, because I'm overcoming the conditioning that was given to me as a little black boy in Kentucky. So just plant the damn seed and let the universe do the rest. Do not kill the possibilities that might exist for your family because you don't care enough to even plant the seed. That's it. I'm about to go. I didn't even mean to talk about all of this. It just came to mind. I kid you not. Okay, last but not least, don't forget, the All Black National Convention is happening in Philadelphia the weekend of September 27th. If you want to come out, if you live anywhere in the Northeast especially, you could take a train down. If you live somewhere else, there's still plane tickets you could buy that won't cost a whole lot. It'll change your life. It'll be well worth it. You can go to allblacknationalconvention.com. That's allblacknationalconvention.com. In fact, if you're watching this live stream and you go buy a ticket right now because you heard about the convention today and you fly in from somewhere else, tell me when you get to the convention and I'll autograph a free book for you or give you a free gift or something as a thank you or as out of respect for the fact that you made that decision. The other thing is if you want to see the live stream, if you want to join via live stream, the link to join via live stream is abncdigital.com. That's abncdigital.com. Last but not least, if you want to get your children involved in our Black Business School for Kids, the first month is totally free. You can go to blackmillionairesoftomorrow.com. That's blackmillionairesoftomorrow.com. It gets rave reviews. We offer little degrees, almost like little college degrees that your child can receive once they complete the program. It's very, very important that we validate our children, not let other people do it. It's almost like how a father should be the one to tell his daughter that she's beautiful, so she ain't looking for some raggedy man to tell her that. She should know she's beautiful because her father told her. So you don't wait for white supremacists to validate your child with a degree. You do it. And in that way, they already know that they're smart. They already know that they're qualified. They're not looking for their oppressor to tell them that they're qualified, because that's going to come with abusive conditions, right? So feel free to go check it out. The first month is free, and I'm almost done with the entrepreneurship section of that program. We actually have 15 things your child should know about investing, 15 things your child should know about money, 15 things your child should know about the stock market, 15 things your child should know about real estate. So our children are coming out as little real estate geniuses out of the program. They know more than most adults. And then the entrepreneurship program, if you're in blackmillionairesoftomorrow.com, when I release the entrepreneurship program for children, then you will get access to that for free, because you're a member of that program. So you don't have to go out and buy a new program. You actually get access due to your pre-existing monthly membership. So and so if you want to try it out and kick the tires and see if you like it, the first month costs you nothing. So you can go to blackmillionairesoftomorrow.com. That's blackmillionairesoftomorrow.com. I'm out of here, guys. Have a good day. I'm about to go and pick some apples with that beautiful black woman that came in a few minutes ago, who can pretty much charm me into doing anything. We're going to go and pick some apples today with the kids. So let me roll up out of here, y'all. I love you guys. I'll see you soon. Have a good day. Peace.